So eJPT version 2 training, all right? So for this, let's talk about the eJPT version 2 first, right? Um, so you will be in a web interface, first off, okay? You don't get to use your own Kali instance, but it is very, very fast. Now, one thing is that it is out of the box Kali. So you don't have Ferox Buster, you don't have Rust Scan, you don't have anything of that nature, okay? So we're going to run this like we are in the actual exam environment. So when I'm using dirt B, because I can't use GoBuster and things like that, I am using my own VM like right now, yes. But when I'm running dirt B and things like that, when I'm running things I don't usually run, like Mmap and dirt B and stuff like that, that's why. So this is going to be training for eJPT version 2. This is going to be one video. It's going to be a longer one, and we're going to go through about 4 boxes. Plus, that includes a Windows box that I made that is on Vagrant. I'll show you what that is at the end on Vagrant there, and also give you a link on, if you've never used Vagrant, how to actually use that on Windows. So let's go ahead and start this off, right? We'll start off with an mmap, tac p tac. I'm going to do a tac t5 just because, it's a, I don't care if they see me, right? Let's do a very verbose. Okay. Well, actually, you know what we should actually do? Let's stop on that. Let's go and get a, what is it? Let's go ahead and see what else is on my network here. And we can grab those different machines that we got. So we got DC1. Obviously, we got carrot down local. Then we have this Debian one like right here. Let's go and grab those 3. And we'll echo those 3 into... No, we are going to do a stealth scan. I don't care. TAC T5, no. I don't care. We'll echo that and do host.txt. We'll just work everything out of Bolt here. All right, so every single thing that we do today will be just run it out of Bolt. We'll go ahead and echo this guy into host.txt, and we'll echo him into host.txt. All right, from here, we'll also go ahead and we'll grab the IP address for over here, and we'll echo that into host.txt. Now let's go ahead and start off with an mmap scan here because we think we got all the hosts right. So we did an mmap ping sweep across the network. All right, we know that our network is 192.168.0.0 if I ifconfig. So I do have a tunnel open right now, so it's going to make it a little bit confusing. But we do know that our Ethernet 0 is 0.26 out of /24. So we do know that's a 192.168.0.0 network. All right, so let's go ahead. Your eJPT exam may be different. So let's go ahead and let's do a ping sweep or a mmap for all that stuff. TAC p-tac, TAC t5. That's going to be as fast as what you can. We'll make it TAC il. Okay, and we're going to use that host.txt. That means look at a file, right? And we'll do host.txt. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a very verbose, and let's also go ahead. That should be just about it, really. Let's go ahead and throw that into a mmap.txt file. Now this is going to take a minute to do. Okay, but as it's going through, we go ahead and cat that mmap.txt and see what we're finding, right? Obviously, the 192.168 are going to come back a lot faster than that tunnel that we have up and running like right now. But we're seeing a lot of ports already coming through, right? So we're seeing some good stuff so far. We're going to go with, we already think that this is going to be Windows. The reason we say that is because of the high port numbers, most likely for AWS, and we also see a 445 like right here. So we're thinking that that's most likely already Windows, right? So if I am running something that's outside of what you get straight up with Linux, someone call me out on it. All right. I did just take the exam yesterday. Thank you to YouTube and Twitch. I want to thank both of those things because that paid for the exam. You guys donating and everything like that paid for the exam for me to take it and be able to make this today. All right, looks like it's finished. Okay. Did we get that 10 network in here also? Looks like we got that 192 network. Okay, let's go ahead and also do a sweep on that 10 network. You won't have to do something like this on the exam itself, just so you know. But it's probably like, what are you talking about, dude? So let's go ahead and make sure, yep, that is up and running. Let's go ahead and run mmap, tac t-pack for 5, tac t5. This time we're going to do 10, 10, 8, 131. Let's go ahead and make that very verbose. And let's go ahead and say do not ping. It is up and running, or it was a minute ago. How about that? I haven't tried to mmap it yet, but it was up and running a minute ago. So while that's doing its thing, let's go ahead and let's start off with the box that I built here, the Windows machine here, right? So we can see we got port 21, right? What's up, Gray Fox? How you doing? Do you have Pentest Plus videos, old recordings? Pentest Plus? No, not really. All right, so we got port 21 here. That's FTP. All right, we want to check that. Okay, we got 445, right? So SMB we have. Looks like we have a couple web servers running here, right? And then we got some filter ports there. I don't think those are going to be anything that we want to look at, like right there. So let's go ahead. Let's check out that port 21 first. Let's go ahead and see what that's all about. Now, just to give you a heads up, this Windows machine does have a bunch of stuff wrong with it. And it's just to get you in the idea, the concept of, okay, what's next? That's all it is. And some of the stuff I haven't tested yet. So we'll see how it works. Let's go and try to FTP into that Windows machine first. 0.40. We'll try anonymous login. And that does work. All right, cool. So we're in. And it looks like we're in the web server, right? We see an IIS start. We see ASP.NET client. And then we have this to-do.txt. Let's go and grab that to-do.txt. Let's see what that says. Okay, install web server services. Okay. Whatever. But we find that, okay. Let's go ahead and let's try to make an ASP reverse shell. This is something I've not tried yet, so I have no idea if it's going to work or not. We'll say Windows shell reverse TCP. lhost. lhost equals, for some reason I forget how the heck to write down something at MSF Venom. I forgot how to do an lhost. Is it just lhost? I don't know why I forgot that. We'll grep for lhost. That worked out good. I think it's tag lhost. I don't remember if it's capital or not. So we'll put in our lhost. So that's going to be our 192 address, right? Obviously, it's not going to be able to get to our tunnel. Tag L port equals, we'll just say 4444. And then we'll say it's going to be an ASP file, right? And we'll call that shell.asp. Yep, it is capital. Or is it just this? Yep, I don't know why I'm doing the tax. That's probably why. I'm getting so confused. Yep, I don't know why I was getting so confused, Andrew. Because I'm on video, that's why. All right, cool. So we now have an ASP. Okay, let's go ahead and put that shell.asp into there. Like I said, I've not actually attempted to do this yet. So, no idea if this was going to work. I have attempted some of the other things. Okay, cool. So we got shell.asp in there now, right? Let's go ahead and MSF Venom, or MSF Console, tag Q. And a couple more things on eJPT while MSF Console is loading up. There's not really, the Linux privs is whatever. You know, it's easy as hell. There's no Windows privs. So just so you guys know, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and use exploit multi-handler. Set our payload to Windows shell reverse TCP. Set our lhost to 192 network. Set our L ports at 4444. Let's go and run that. From here, we can try to go to that 192.168.0.40. We'll see what it's all about first. Okay, so it is just an IIS. Okay. If we do a control U, we can see that IIS start.png, which we saw that FTP, so we know that we're in the correct place. Then we'll try that shell.asp. Like I said, I have no idea if it's going to work or not. It does not. Okay. We did load it in there, but it does not work for that one, like right there. So that's okay. I didn't know if it was going to work or not. I had no idea. All right. But that is one way to get reverse shell, is with a shell.asp or something like that. I know there's a certain way you have to like set up the web server to be able to do that. So yeah, that's not good. Okay, that's okay. All right. Hey, too big. How you doing? Like I said, I didn't know if that was going to work or not. So let's go ahead and let's actually scan those different web servers though on 192.168.0.40. So if we got that mmap.txt right, we see that we got quite a few web servers on here. We have 8,000, 8080, 8443. All right, which most likely 8443 and 8080 are most likely the same exact thing there. We also have MySQL, okay, running, and then that port 445, right? Let's go ahead and let's look at the SMB server next. Let's try that one. SMB client, see if that's open at all. And we'll go ahead and close that out. That is open. Okay, we get users there, right? This more fun than work? It is. Much more fun. All right, so we get users, right? So let's go ahead and look at users here. Well, this one's all right. I mean, this is whatever. All right. And we see some users here, okay? So we have administrator, obviously, Becky, it looks like Tom, which Tom looks like he's actually logged into it, and Will. So let's go ahead and try to CD into Tom. We cannot, okay? We don't have any listing directories. But we do have some usernames now. So let's go ahead and echo those into a file. We got Tom into users.txt. Will. Well, Tom's the only one that looks like he's never logged in, actually. Right there, right? That's the only one that looks like he's never actually logged in. So let's go ahead and let's try to run a brute force on Tom. Every single thing inside of this is fast track. And if you do have to run a brute force in the eJPT, it is extremely quick, just so you know. All right, there we go. Okay, we get his password. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now that we have his password, we should be able to get some more listings here. So we should be able to do SMB client, tech you Tom, right, and throw that password into it. And now we can get into his different stuff, right? Cool, easy day, okay? And we do get a flag.txt. We'll get that flag.txt. And there we are, okay? So we can brute force Tom. All right. We could also try maybe to do something like a PS exec, okay? And we could look at number 4. We could try this with it. Don't think it's going to work. Like I said, I haven't tried this one yet. Show options. We'll go ahead and we'll set our host to 192.168.0.40. Set SMB user to Tom. And set SMB password to this password up here, right? Go ahead and run that. See if we get anywhere. Nope. Okay, that's pretty normal just because, I mean, this thing's a server 2019. I think it's on. We're most likely, we don't have the rights for it, right? But that is something that you want to try every single time to see if you can get it through it, all right? So we can also try to WinRM in. However, Kali does not come pre-installed with evil WinRM, so we're not even going to try that, all right? This is probably the best way I would suggest to be able to get into something. Okay, it's through PS exec. So let's go ahead and let's keep moving on. Got that mmap.txt that we have right. So we already got port 21. We exploited that. We exploited 445 right. We got that SMB, okay? Let's go ahead and look at that port 8000 and 8080. Let's see what's on those two. So let's try to do... let's go with 8000 first. See what we got here. All right, we got Jenkins. All right, we can try admin. Always try admin password, Jenkins, something like that. Admin. And that does get us in. All right, cool. So we should be able to create a reverse shell in here then. All right, let's go ahead and create a job. Actually, there's easier ways. Freestyle project. There's actually easier ways to be able to do that. Is it in Manage Jenkins? I haven't done Jenkins in a while. Jenkins CLI? Nope. Jenkins Script Console. And we could look up a Windows reverse shell for Jenkins. Another thing, you have no internet connection, so you do have to just use your computer for all internet connections, right? But you have no internet connection, so you want to be able to copy and paste pretty much everything. Okay, that's gonna be something you want to do. So you won't be able to do a wget. So we're gonna have to copy this. And we'd have to paste it right into here, and then run it like that. Okay. So okay, 8044. Sure, that sounds good. Let's go ahead and change this to our IP address. And let's go ahead and RL wrap also does not exist. So we'll use exploit multi-handler because RL wrap does not come pre-installed on Kali. And we'll go ahead and set payload to, it's going to be a Java. You know what? Actually, netcat might be the best thing for this. So let's just go ahead and do a netcat LVMP 8044, I believe it was, right? 8044, okay. So we'll get that up and running. And let's go ahead and run this and see if we get a callback, and we do. And we are NC System Authority, okay? Like I said, there's no real privesc in it. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot for the follow Twitch Ben Unser account, okay? But like I said, there's no real privesc in this, okay? And eJPT version 2. Even the Linux privesc that is there is I don't know if it's even needed. I did it. I don't know if it's needed, and it's super simple. All right. Obviously, I can only say that much about it. So we now exploited this port 8000, okay? Let's go ahead and look at 8443, or 8080, excuse me. So let's go ahead and we'll hop over here. We'll do a 192.168.0.40.8080. And it looks like we have an XApp installed. Can we go to phpMyAdmin? We cannot, okay? Can we see PHP info? We can. All right, this is something you might want to look at, PHP info, see if it's running an old version of PHP or something like that. But let's go ahead and let's try to do something like a, let's see here, dir bscan on, right? So we'll run dir b, tac u, or dir b, just site, and then what word list you want to use. Every single time I use big.txt, and that worked just fine. You're going to get a lot of crap if it's running XAMPP. So you got to kind of look through it and realize what you're looking at with XAMPP, okay? All right, looks like we found a WordPress site here, right? So we have a /WordPress. Let's go and check that out. Okay. And it says caret.local. So I feel like if I actually go here, wplogin.php, it's going to go caret.local. Now, before I even continue, because I obviously already had it set up, let me go ahead and do a sudo nano ethost. We can see 192.168.0.40 is going to caret.local. If that was not there, let's go ahead and delete that. And go back to the site. We'll refresh it. Well, we actually... I was going to keep going to it because it's already cached, huh? Let's go out to Google, then we'll go back to it. Yeah, it's already cached in there, so that's not really helping me out very much. That was it. To show you. You won't be able to get into it pretty much. And it's going to say caret.local up here, and you're going to get a 404 page. All right, like a forbidden or something like that, right? You won't be able to get into it. So you have to go into your Etsy host, and you're going to have to actually put in the site IP. Okay, like caret.local or wordpress.local or whatever it is. Okay, so let's go and try and log in now. So we know, let's try admin. Try to sign in, okay. That wasn't right. Let's try to register. Okay, registers for an account. Okay. and we don't really get much out of it now, do we? So we probably want to get a was an admin account on here. So let's go ahead and let's use WP scan, which does come default in Kali. Actually, we want to do carrot.local, or else you're going to be having some problems. /WordPress. And we'll do attack E, which means enumerate, U, which means users. So we want to try to enumerate some users here. Maybe it's going to be like that. Oh, it's also on 8080, isn't it? And we might have to do a /WordPress in there. There we go. So we're going to try to enumerate users. Like I said, if you do have to brute force, it is extremely fast. They don't pick some word that's, 1,000 words down. We go ahead and stop this also. So we do see that we just made that user, so we don't care about him. We also see his user admin, right? Now also, another thing is, if you want to try and, let's say, look at plugins, you just do attack AP. I always like to put it at like a timing of like 200 because it could take a while for plugins. All right, but you can also try to enumerate plugins too. But let's go ahead and see if we can't brute force that user's password. Admin, user, share word list, and we'll do fasttrack.txt. So we do actually see a bunch of stuff in here, right? So we got a bunch of plugins in here, and we can actually see if they're out of date or not, what version that plugin is. Okay, then from there you can look up the CVEs and everything like that, right? Not very difficult, okay? But you can start to look at everything and see like, are any of these going to work for me, right? I'll give you a hint. Every single one of these are actually vulnerable. Okay? Just so you know. Every single one's vulnerable to something. So, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to brute force. All right? On the eJPT, I used Rocky.txt for every single time. So, we'll do attack T200. And we're going to brute force for the username admin with a password list of fasttrack.txt. Where do you work at, Deluxy? Why do you give it a little bit too many with that 200? Oh, what was that? All right, we got a success there. Usually we'll see all this crap in there. But we do have a success like right there, and it looks like admin, and that's the password. So let's go ahead and try and log in with them. All right, and we are in there, right? Cool. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we can't get to the dashboard here. And we can. Let's go. All right, cool. So another thing to realize is that as you're looking through this, we got our WordPress theme in use of Ocean WP like right here. So there's a bunch of different WordPress themes, okay? And when we actually get a reverse shell on this, you need to know what theme you're using, okay? Just so you know. All right, let's go ahead and do an etc tac LVMP. Actually, let's use, we can do that, etc tac LVMP. We'll say 444, whatever. Okay, we want, now remember, this is a Windows machine, right? So we need a Windows PHP reverse shell. Okay, we don't want a Linux PHP reverse shell. We need a Windows one. If you're on a Linux machine, then use a Linux PHP reverse shell. They are different. So we go ahead and grab this from Ivan up here. Looks like he's actually running on port 9000. We'll just stick with that. And what we'll do from here is we can go ahead and we can try to load that into our file editor here. Is it theme follower? I don't know. I never really messed around with Ocean. Okay, cool. So we go to 404.php. All right, what we'll do from here is we'll go ahead and we'll delete this. And let me actually, before I delete this, see if I need to actually make a copy of it or not. All right, I need to make a copy of this first, just in case the upload fails to Vagrant. Okay, just in case the upload fails to Vagrant, we're actually going to make a quick copy of this. You obviously don't have to do this. Well, you should be doing it. In real life, if you were actually doing this, then, you know, to a company, you shouldn't be doing exactly this one like right here. But hey, you better make a copy of it. And we're going to go ahead and just get Sublime 404.php. We're just going to copy that into there, save that. All right, that's just in case if the upload fails, so that there isn't a PHP script already running there that's called for reverse shell. All right, let's go ahead and grab that Ivan one. We'll go ahead and we'll throw this into here. We'll update that file. All right, file is updated successfully. Cool. Now, remember, we were on Ocean WP, right? We can see like right there again for the theme, right? So we want to look at WP content. And I always forget this part, so that's why I took notes. Well, now the eJPT that was got through. We'll talk about the review more later on. That will be in another video, the actual review for it. But let's go ahead and look at WordPress and themes. / themes, and then the theme, and then 404.php. Okay, cool. / themes / Ocean WP 404.php. We already have our listener up and ready, right? And it did not like that at all. No connection made because the target machine actively refused it. Did I not change? I did not. 100% it actively refused it, did it? 192.168.0.26. Got to put in my IP address. Peter doesn't know I want it to come back to me now, does it? Then we'll forward again. Try to refresh that. And we do get a callback. I actually never tested that beforehand either. All right, so we do get a callback. Who am I? And we can see that I have NT Authority System. Now, since we did get in through WordPress, okay, somewhere you can go is into the WP config file, and you can actually find you can actually see the database. Okay, so we can look at the WP config file, and we may be able. This one, like right here, has no password on the database. Okay, but we can see the database user's root, and there is no password. All right, so we can actually find the password and things like that on the database, and from here we can then get into the database, right? So if maybe there's another machine attached to it, or another machine that runs off of that database, or whatever else, we can get into that database from here. All right, so just with a quick MySQL tech u root, I don't know if we can get to it from out here. We could try. There's no password. I always forget if it's capital or lowercase h. Nope, it's not going to let us in. So we're not going to be able to get a database that way, but there are other ways to be able to get into a database, stuff like that. But that is something that you could technically do. All right, it's get into the database, everything. So if this was running on like a Linux machine, it's much easier. Just type in MySQL. Okay, on Windows machine, it's a little bit harder. But any database that you encounter that you actually need to get into will most likely be on Linux. All right, so we got there now. That was an easy day, right? We can always port forward the database also. We can always try to do that. All right, and see if we can't get it again. And just things like that, right? So we now have exploited port 21, that anonymous login. Port 80, I taught you how to exploit it. Didn't work. I didn't actually test beforehand. All right. 445 SMB, we exploited that. Right? We got the database username. Okay, we exploited port 8000, which was Jenkins, and we exploited port 8080, which was WordPress. That's really about all you're going to need. So I got these other machines up just to show you some things that I don't have on this one, like right here, that you might be able to do. From there, we also ran dir, right, to be able to get different directories. And we were able to find directories. We ran WP scan to be able to actually log in, or to be able to brute force that directory. And we ran a brute force on SMB because we saw what usernames there were. Okay. So that is a lot of stuff. If you've ever actually looked at the, people have posted online already, the eJPT little breakdown of grading, you can start to kind of break down what you have to do. You know, there's quite a few things there. You're like, oh, okay. And then you can start to break it down. But that'll be more for the review, which is later on, a video later on tonight. All right, I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we're going to go ahead and we are going to do DC1. And we're also going to do another box that's called ICA1. Both of these are on Vault Hub. All right, so you can go to Vault Hub, download both of them. The Windows box up here, this is on Vagrant, which I'll leave a link for that, and also a link on how to actually download it. And I'll also leave a link for the medium.com review that I do so that you have all that information, all right? We still have not actually gotten that Bolt one back yet, now have we? So I might cheat. I might run a rust scan on Bolt because it still is being weird. So we might have to do that. All right, so let's go ahead and try a rust scan on it. Let's go ahead and also stop this, start it back up again. And let's go ahead and see if Bolt is, because I also want this one to showcase this one too for the training here. All right, so there we go. All right, like I said, you can run mmap on all of them. Give it 10 minutes and you'll have your whole thing back. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a quick 5-minute break. We'll come back and we'll continue on with this guy right here. All right, we are back, okay? So I also want to showcase something. When I took that break, I thought of something. Let's go ahead and showcase something over here, okay? Let's go ahead and make a MSF Venom file. TACP, Windows, shell reverse TCP, sure. lhost equals my lhost here, right? lport equals, we'll say 443, okay? And we'll make it executable, and we'll call that shell.exe. Let's go back over to here. All right, we'll cd into the C users or C temp or wherever we really want to go, okay? We can make a directory probably. Let's go ahead and cd into C drive, and we'll see if a temp drive is in there. All right, let's go ahead and make directory temp, cd into temp. Notice that doesn't care Windows if it's capital or not, okay? And from here, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll send this file over to here. So let's go ahead and do a Python 3 web server. All right, and since we are on command prompt and not a PowerShell, I'll show you how to do it both command prompt and PowerShell. All these notes also are on my GitHub at overgrowcarrot1, all right, under notes. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's look up download from command prompt, because I always forget. And we'll do our cert util to be able to download through it, right? So that's going to act up because we couldn't use RL wrap because RL wrap does not come on a system on Kali from the beginning. And we'll say shell.exe. That's what we want down, right? And then we need that out file, that name, shell.exe. So let's go ahead and copy this. Let's get enter up here. It's not going to do anything. We're going to probably just get the exit out of it, and we'll hop back into that guy. All right, cd to ctemp. And we'll go ahead and we will transfer that file over there with this command, right? So we can see that we do get a 200 saying, yep, hey, that's there, okay? And we see that it did actually transfer over, dir, and we have that shell.exe. Now we could use exploit multi-handler, right? We already have Windows shell reverse TCP, I believe. Or can I do a show payload? Show payloads, I don't really want to do that. That's going to take, oh man, I hit enter. I messed it up. Let's go ahead and set payload. We'll just make sure that we're actually set to this one right here. I believe we already are, but let's go ahead and make sure. Okay, set our lhost. We can either say either at 0, that is one thing you can do. All right, if you're on TryHappy or something like that, or hack the box, you do ton 0 also. So we can actually say that and show options. It'll actually say either at 0, like right there. All right. And we're going to set our out port as 443. Let's go ahead and type in run. And we'll try to execute this shell.exe and see if we don't get a callback over here. Notice it is listed on 192.168.0.26. And we do get a callback. All right. So we've now transferred the file over, got a callback. Let's go ahead and Control Z and search for shell 2. So we have the shell 2 interpreter. We can use 0. Session stack I. Set the session to 1. Right? And we'll go ahead and we'll run that. And we should be able to get an interpreter session because everything's pretty much shut down on this machine. Just like you won't really have any problems with getting interpreter sessions in eJPT because there's not any antivirus or Windows Defender up or anything like that. And notice we do now have an interpreter session. So now we can go ahead and do a sessions 2. Load Kiwi. And now if we press question mark, we have LSA dump and everything like that. So let's go ahead and do an LSA dump SAM. And we're going to dump out those NTLM hashes. Okay, so we see William's hash like right here. We see Tom's hash. So we get quite a few hashes here, right? So let's go ahead and start to look at these different hashes. So we can echo William's hash like right here. I believe we can actually do William and then do it like this. I think we can. I've never really done it like that. And the hash.text. Usually I just put all the hashes in one file, use crapmap exec. But I don't remember if crapmap exec comes by default. I don't think it does. And we got Tom's hash like right here, which we believe we already know that password for, but we'll go ahead and we'll do it anyways. And the hash.text. And let's see if we have any more. We have Becky's hash. And then we also should have the administrator's hash in here. Administrator's hash, which this box you're not going to crack with a regular word list. All right, let's go ahead and run John hash.text. Fork equals 4. All right, we'll use rocky.text. Tac format is going to equal NT. It was $250, Jerf, but Twitch and YouTube paid for it. So all the money that I got from Twitch and YouTube, that paid for it. I mean, it took a while. It took since it's been out, so it took like a little bit. So it's not like I'm making $250, a month. But I decided, I was like, hey, I tried to do the giveaways and everything, but either A, people can't do it because I can't send it to those countries, or B, they're just like, hey, just keep it. So I was like, let's just give it a try. Let's just do this, and we'll give something back to the community by doing something like this, right? All right, so we do see that we do crack 2 more passwords. Okay, well, we already do Tom's, but we do crack Becky's password also. All right, so that was a pretty easy day. We can also run that against Fast Track, see if we crack anything else. All right, and this time we crack 3 Williams password like right there. Oh, Jerv, yeah, go for it, man. Just realize that as soon as you do it, for some reason, as soon as you start doing it on Twitch, you suck at hacking. Like, I forgot Lhost. I forgot what that was. And for some reason, like, I have no internet on my regular machine anymore, but I'm still streaming somehow. So weird. It's so weird. Computers. All right, so we do crack a bunch of passwords there. Awesome. Okay. We don't really need to do anything with those because we do a get UID. We are already NT Authority system, so it doesn't really matter. But if you need to crack some passwords, and you got just a regular netcat connection, that's an easy way to do it and get an interpreter shell out of there. Another thing we can do is we go ahead and go into shell, and we can type in ipconfig, and we can see if there's anyone else attached to this machine, right? So if this has more than one IP address, then there's most likely an internal network there, right? Then we can do port forwarding or whatever else we need to do from there. All right. So let's go ahead and let's stop all these guys, and we'll try to do Bolt now, since Bolt's the only one that's different. Actually, I'm not gonna do that. We're just gonna clear that. We'll exit off here, and we'll go ahead and we'll do Bolt now, right? So Bolt had port 22 and 80, I believe it was up. That was it, right? And 8,000. Okay, 22, 80, and 8,000. We ran our mmap scan on it, right? Well, we ran a Rust scan because we cheated because it didn't want to work. So we ran our mmap scan on it. And let's go ahead and look at that guy right there. We can exit out all of these. And let's go ahead and look at that port 8000 now. Mmap TAC P8000. And let's go ahead and see what that guy's all about. TAC SV looks at the version of it. What is it? Like trying to get a fingerprint of it. TAC SC runs default scripts. TAC PN is do not ping. And let's also curl that port 80. And we'll curl that port 8000 also. See if we can see anything weird in here. This looks like Apache 2. Let's go ahead. Yep, looks like Apache 2 to me. So let's go ahead and Control V, make sure that is correct. And let's go ahead and also look at port 8000, see if we can see anything. And also let's go ahead and curl that port 8000 and see if we can figure out what it's built with or anything else like that. Content is bolt, okay? So let's go ahead and see what we're looking at here. It looks like a content management system, right? And we have a message from admin. We got a username here, Jake, right? That's the admin, okay? Welcome to the site, myself, Jake, and my username is Bolt. All right, that was a genius thing to say like right there. So we already have a username. I'm still new to the CMS, so I can take a while, we can tell. And I have some great content coming up for you. You definitely do, especially since it's built with Bolt. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's check out and see if we have anything called Bolt. Post secret forum, right? I posted my first message for our readers today, but there seems to be a lot of free space out there. Please check it out. My password is boltadmin123. This guy is he's just having a blast, huh? So let's go ahead and search for Bolt. All right, we got a Bolt authenticated RCE and also a Bolt file upload. All right, let's go ahead and look at that Bolt authenticated RCE because we do technically have a username and password right now that we know of. Let's go ahead and use 0. We'll set our username to Bolt, set our password to whatever that was, Bolt admin. Let's go ahead and show options. They probably should not have made that guy an admin. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can't do a set lhost to ton 0. And we'll go ahead and we'll run that. Oh, set our host. Obviously, I need that. I figured with all the information we have, we need that. 10.10.8.131. Remember, for the eJPT, you can obviously use Metasploit, or else we wouldn't be out like right now. If you complete it really quickly, I completed it about 3-4 hours with hands-on keyboard. I actually started like during lunch. But if you complete it really quickly, I would suggest you go back through and do it without Metasploit, just so you can, test different payloads and try different things, stuff like that. But yeah. All right, so if you ever get stuck here, right? We already see that opened. If you ever get stuck, just do a Control C. Or actually, no, we are not stuck, are we? We are actually in. Okay, we just don't have a cool prompt there. But if this ever gets stuck, it freezes, and you don't have a prompt or anything like that, you can Control C, and then you stop the attack, and then just do a sessions attack I, and you'll see that it worked just fine. All right, so we are root, so we are done here. So we can cd/root and go ahead and do whatever we got to do, okay? Obviously, this will right here, the flag is not there, okay? Any flags on eJPT, it is not my regular street time, no. But any flags on eJPT will be listed to where the flag is. So if there's a flag, it'll actually give you the whole address, like C users administrator desktop flag.txt. It'll say something like that. You know what I'm saying? So actually say the whole thing, so you're not sitting in there trying to search for flags. And I did say I was going to show you how to do PowerShell on that one Windows machine, didn't I? So let's go ahead and sorry about that. I know we just totally just went backwards, but I did say I was going to show you how to do PowerShell. Oh, God, I forgot what the name was. Ocean WP. There we go. So if we're doing PowerShell right, we can type in PowerShell. Okay, from here, Let's go ahead and cd into ctemp. Sorry about that. We are hopping around. All right. And let's go ahead and we can delete that shell.exe. Oh, maybe I can't. I'm not allowed to. Sorry. Okay, whatever. All right, we'll just rename this then. Move shell.exe to shell1.exe. And we'll go ahead and we'll start with our Python web server. And for this, we can actually use wget. And I like to use basic parsing all the time, which that's saying that, hey, if the Internet Explorer has never been started, then still go ahead and do something. Still go ahead and download this file. So if you ever see like Internet Explorer engine has not been started, whatever it says, just do attack, use basic parsing, and you'll be good. And now for this, we do have to make an out file. Okay. Because it's being used by our process. Oh, I got to do shell 1. Let's go ahead and grab this whole thing. Because I got to make it shell 1. But we can see that it did get it. Instead of trying to type that all out again. And then there we go. So we do have shell1.exe right here. So that does that's how you download it within PowerShell. And we just did bolt, so awesome. We go ahead and stop that machine. Okay. And now let's go ahead and let's look at the other ones that we had. So if we cat the mmap.txt, we're also looking at .41 and .42, right? So let's go ahead and look at that .41 first. We'll start off with that. I do want to know what that port is, because I don't know what that port is like right there. So let's go to mmap tac-p, that guy like right there, for .41. And .41, I believe, should be DC1. It is DC1, okay? So this was DC1 on Vault Hub. So you go there, you download it. Works for VirtualBox. All right, just TCP. Okay, it's just part of RPC. Okay, let's go ahead and check out then that port 80. All right. And we get Drupal. All right, let's frickin' go. We know what to do here, right? Let's go ahead and do a dir b. We'll just do big.txt, see if we find anything with that. All right, but we're pretty sure we already know what to do with this guy. Okay, we got a Drupal site. So there's most likely some type of change log or some type of, there's something in there, right? Where we can try and figure out what the version is. But we also, can we do like Control U and figure out the version? Okay, there's a version of XML, like right there. Let's go ahead and type in Drupal. Drupal 7. There we go. Content Drupal 7. All right, so we got Drupal 7. So this may be vulnerable to either Drupal Get It or Drupal Get It 2. So let's go ahead and search exploit, or actually, let's go ahead and just search for Drupal. And we have Drupal Get It 2 and Drupal Get It. All right, we're going to try Drupal Get It 2 first. Let's go ahead and use 1. Show options. Set our L host is good. All right, set our R host to 192.168.0.41. And yep, that all looks good because we're not going to like /Drupal or anything like that. So that all looks good like right there. And we're not using SSL. Let's go ahead and run that, see if we get anything. Let's go. All right, cool. So this is like right here. Okay, it's frozen. Let's go ahead and press Control C, and we will do a session stack I. And you can see that session 4 did open up. Okay, so we can do a sessions 4. We can go ahead and do a get UID. All right, and I'm www data. Like I said, the privesc for it it's nothing hard within eJPT. I have no idea what this privesc is going to be like. All right, I also don't really like interpreter shells for Linux stuff. So we're going to do a bash C, and we're actually going to bring it back to ourselves. Right, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a netcat lvip, we'll say 4444, whatever, and we're going to cat scripts bash reverse shell. Now, before you say that is not on, that script is not on a default installation of Kali. You're 100% correct, it is not. However, if you go over to overgrow_1 GitHub, which you 100% can during the exam, and you go to repositories, and you go to scripts, it is in here. So you can just go down and say, okay, cool, I want a bash reverse shell, right? And there we go. So it is right there, okay? So let's go ahead and grab that bash reverse shell text, okay? And we'll copy this, 0.26, 4444. We already know what that works. We'll go ahead and we'll go shell, and we're just going to type in bash -c. Tell it bash to run a command, right? We want to run that command. We'll hit enter, and we do get a callback over here. Okay, now from here, you can go ahead and you can look at my GitHub, and you can type in full shell. Or you can just download all this onto your machine and then just go back and forth. Okay, this is kind of an older version of the full shell one, but we can do a Python full shell, like right there. And since that's what's on there, that's what we're going to do. Which Python? All right, we have username Python, so we'll go ahead and run that. You can copy and paste in the exam. So you can copy stuff from like your Kali machine that you use and paste it on there. That's what I pretty much did. I pretty much had my Kali machine open, and like whenever I was like, I gotta get full shell, I'll just copy and paste it from my Kali machine. All right, so now from here, let's go ahead and let's look at SUID bits. Oh, look at that. I set you guys up for success. Let's go ahead and try that like real quick. I don't know what the exact, actually, user bid find. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and let's look at GTFO bids. And we will look at find. We do have an SUID bit set for it. And we can go ahead and run this guy right here, thus allowing us to be able to become root. Oh, TAC P is the illegal option, so we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of that TAC P. Okay, ID, and we are now root. So we can now cd/root. And in case you don't believe me, we say cat the final flag. And there we go. All right. That is DC1. More training for eJPT version 2. We utilized Drupal Gettin. We saw that Drupal 7 was the version, right? Utilized Drupal Gettin for that. And from there was able to then become root through an SUID bit of find, right? So now let's go ahead and look at our last box for this. Cat at map.txt. And our last box is 192.168.0.42. And this should be ICA1, I believe it's called. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we have two MySQL ports up. Right, we could actually try to see if we can get to it. So we could try MySQL, TAC U root, TAC H. Now I always forget if it's lowercase or capitalized. Okay, let's try TAC P Tor. Okay, looks like it's lowercase. Just try a couple things, okay? We're not going to try brute force. I don't really like to try brute force MySQL at the very beginning because it can very quickly kick you out. All right, so let's go ahead and let's check out that port 80 out here. QDPM 9.2. Okay, I'm about to say I thought I saw QDPM. QDPM 9.2, that is vulnerable to a actually one of my I think Bash 1. Yeah, Bash 1 actually utilizes that vulnerability in it. Even though I put QDPM 9.1 on there, but you have to utilize 9.2 to get the information for 9.1. So let's go ahead and check it out like real quick. And we do, okay, QDPM 9.2. So let's go ahead and search for QDPM 9.2 exploits, right? Which you can see I've obviously searched for it before because I literally have this on my actual machine itself, okay? On Bash 1 on Vagrant. So let's go ahead and grab this like right here, right? And we'll go ahead and we'll throw that into a over here. And we should technically download the database, which we do. Let's go ahead and move that database to ourselves. And we'll go ahead and we will sublime text that database. And we can see that we have localhost. So that is the username and that is the password for QDPM. So let's go ahead and do a MySQL tech U. And it looks like QDPM admin. Is that correct? QDPM admin. Yep. Is it 42? And there we go. Show databases. Whoops. All right, we got QDPM staff assist. Let's go ahead and use QDPM for now. Show tables. Select star from users. All right, that's empty. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at that staff then. Actually, I kind of want to look at sys. Let's look at sys. We got sysconfig. We got user summary. Session. That might be something to look at. Let's go ahead and do a select star from, let's try user summary first, or sysconfig. Let's try sysconfig first. All the boxes in the eJPT version 2 courses. What do you mean? These are all to get you prepared for eJPT version 2. This is kind of like supplemental training to get you ready for it, for eJPT version 2. So, kind of like same I think I did with what was it? Same that concept that I did with what's it called? Oh Jesus, eJPT version 1, where I had the 0 to hero in that thing. Same as that concept. So okay, so we gotta keep looking around this database like right here. Let's see what staff is. Okay, looks like they're all base 64. And we have the ID and then user ID. So let's go ahead and actually grab this whole thing right here. Remember, you do not have sublime text. So if we don't have sublime text, I guess I can't do it. I was going to make my life easier. Let's go ahead and, oh, I also sublime something. I did it, cat it. So cat database.yaml. There you go. Okay. All right. Because you don't have sublime text, right? So let's go ahead and echo all of these guys into here. And if you are brand new, eJPT version 2 is the very first thing you ever tried to do. Before you take the test out, also I suggest you watch my eJPT 0 to hero that was made for version 1. Version 1 was also harder, I felt like. Okay, let's go ahead and use John, hash.text. Format is not NT anymore. Oh, they're all freaking base 64. Oh my god. Whoopsie daisy. So we got dbase echo. All right, so we got that. Probably 1, I would think, will actually user ID 1 would most likely actually be the admin, right? I feel like he would be the admin. If anyone's going to be the admin, I feel like it would be him. So, now we just need, what is it, usernames, right? So let's go ahead and actually look for usernames here, which was user. And yep, we do have, okay. So department ID, okay. But this one's user ID over here. So we got Smith, Lucas, Travis, Dexter, Mayer. Let's go ahead and echo all those. And let's go ahead and actually start to put these guys into a file also. So let's go ahead and echo that into pass.txt. Let's make sure that is correct. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and we'll echo the next one, that to pass.txt. So I already done those two. So the third one now. Looks like we already did that one. Let's go ahead and echo this one, that into pass.txt. We'll go ahead and we'll throw this guy in there. And we'll throw the last one in there. And let's go ahead and do an Hydra tech L user.txt and tech P pass.txt SSH 192.168.0.42, I believe it is, right? Is this 142? Okay, it doesn't look like we got anything with that. Okay. Might have to use that for, I wonder if we just got to test that against the actual web server itself. If we get into QDPM, we have a pretty golden life. So now what I'm wondering is if we just want to, let's go back to QDPM. I think it's also in here. Is that correct? There we go. Okay, admin at localhost.com and then the password. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and echo this into hash.txt and see if we can crack that. We cannot. Man, this thing is killing me, huh? This guy is killing me like right here. It's making me put in some heavy work here. Let's go ahead and actually, let's go ahead and go into hash. This is more difficult than what is on the eJPT also, just so you guys know. So let's go ahead and figure out what type of hash this is. First off, which I believe this is the MD5. WordPress MD5, Drupal MD5. Okay, cool. So that's an MD5 hash, like right there. So, okay, cool. So that's an MD5 hash, right? So let's go ahead and actually make a new hash for that guy as MD5. So what we can do with that is make password. And I've never downloaded that one, so I know that that's in Kali. Tag method. That's going to equal MD5 crypt, right? MD5 crypt. Okay. And from here, we can make a password of admin or something like that, right? And we now have this. Okay, so now we can now echo that. Into his stuff, right? So we can update that configuration. We got to update the configuration file. Set a value. Set value. So we got update configuration. Set value, right? on ID2. Okay, so we have to update configuration. We have to update configuration, right? From there, we have to set value to our new password, right? Because it's value. That's what it's up here. So we're going to update the configuration. We're going to set the value of this password for ID2. Set value to that, right? That's going to be where ID equals 2, right? Where ID equals 2. And that command. Okay, so now we can go ahead and look at the configuration again. And we now have our password in there, and we know his password. So now we can now do a little, we don't need that anymore. Don't need 41 up anymore. Nope, nope. Admin at localhost. Is it local or .com? Localhost.com and admin. There we go. Let's frickin' go. Okay, cool. I think there's a way to be able to put a picture of PHP into I'm pretty sure there's a way to be able to put PHP into here, but I don't remember where it is. So do Hydra again for what? How do you get all the users? Whoopsie daisy. We might have actually gone way too hardcore. And that's obviously not going to work either. So, whoopsie daisy. So let's go ahead and do a nano pass.text, because that's not going to work like right there. I wonder why. Let's say, because now that I'm thinking about it, like I know that there's a way to be able to load it at 404.php there, but why would we get all those users? In staff. Let's try this again. Okay, let's go ahead and select star from login. Select star from user. Okay, so we have, I don't know why it didn't put everyone in there. I also don't know why it didn't append it properly. That's really, really weird. Okay, let's go ahead and lstech cat user.text. Smith, Lucas, Travis, Dexter, and Mayer, right? Okay. Those supposed to be like bands, or not bands, but like John Mayer. All right. Let's go ahead and now throw all these guys back into a password.txt file, because that was super weird also. Sorry about that. Oh well. That's what happens. But we did get into there, but I feel like that wasn't what we had to do. Just looking at how the box is kind of going, doesn't make any sense. I feel like we would have to use Hydra I feel like we have to utilize these passwords that we're getting like right here. I feel like that password file that we made is all jacked up. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and try Hydra again. Let's go. We got 2 people. Hate to see it. We go ahead and exit out of here. We don't need that open anymore. All right, let's go ahead and SSH into, let's try Travis, I guess, first. And with this password. Can he sudo? Can Dexter sudo? Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and cat those SUID bits, which I already showed you how did you get that. So we go ahead and cat that. Opt get access. Okay. Let's tech LA/opt. Now remember, there is really no actual what's it called? Actual privesk in. It's very, very easy privesk. There's no actual privesk for Windows. So if you're waiting for the video to end, you did it. Just so you know. Okay, let's see what this is doing here. Well, I mean, it could be a lot of things. We got to see what it's actually doing first. Only within working hours, huh? Okay. I want to look at get access one more time here. Okay, so setting SUID, socket put system, sets the group ID, and then it cats root system info. Cat/root system info. That's probably right where our exploit's going to be at, is like right there. Because it's not calling for the full path to cat. So hopefully we can change up cat and do something with that. Okay, change mode plus X for cat, and then we'll go ahead and see. User bin isn't there, but we just got to kind of put temp in there now. Name of this box is ICA1 on Vault Hub. So we go and export path equals /temp $path. Okay, now if we echo path again, we can see that we got temp in there now, right? So now we could try to run that thing again and see if it'll work for us. And we are root. Cool. So we did make it to root, okay, because we ran that bin bash, and root was running that and set that UID and everything else. That cat is something, and we totally skipped over that cat the first time, but we got it. I don't think ICA1's on proving grounds. cd into root, cat that root.txt. And there's nothing in it. Okay. And we are finished. And yeah, that is your eJPT version 2 in an hour and 22 minutes training, supplemental training, to be able to go through and know that you're going to be good for eJPT version 2. Like I said, I'm also going to be coming out with a review of it, and also I'll post it on Medium and everything like that. Let me go ahead and look to see if my Vagrant file is finally done yet. It looks like it is, I believe. Because if that is done, then I'll go ahead and I'll post that in the chat like right now, in case you want to grab that guy. If it's not done yet, then we'll it looks like it is. So here's the Windows box that we did earlier. I'll post this in chat like right now. I've actually had my own chat open on my own computer here. For some reason, I'm not even signed in. So let me go ahead and log in like real quick to myself. That's weird. Oh my God, I need a token. No, that ICA1 I've never done before. That was a new one for me. One of them I made. ICA1, I've never done that one before. And DC1, I did that one a while ago. So nothing new on that guy, like right there. Well, nothing that like nothing that I didn't really remember it. How about that? All right, let me log into Twitch over here, and I'll drop that Vagrant file. There you go. And if you've never ran Vagrant before, here, let me help you out with that. I have a how to run Vagrant on Windows thing. So I'll go ahead and send that also across chat. And then we can go ahead and we can go raid somebody. No, I mean, 100% I am. I just need the 24 hours to do it. That's all. That's really what it is. I just need 24 hours to myself to do it. That's the hard part, like right there. All right. That'll be it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to, let's go raid someone. Go find someone to raid. You speak Spanish. I don't know how much that's going to help, like right there. Let's go ahead and find, I'm just going to hop over to Twitch and see if there's anyone else on. Like right now. This guy's coding. Is he coding in Pi? His name is Pi. No, he's not coding in Pi. Why? That would make sense. What the hell was I thinking, right? Computer booter. This guy's like doing some cool shit. Let's go ahead and raid this guy. It's like soldering and shit like that. He's fixing something. I don't know what he's fixing, but he's doing something. So I'm gonna raid this guy like right here. Alright, y'all have a good one. Jerv, thanks a lot for sticking around. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully this was good training for you all. Especially if you plan on taking the eJPT. And yeah, y'all have a good